The HR Guys present Designing Organizations for the International Environment. So, we have Bob. He's interesting, he's funny, and as it turns out, he's the owner of a couple of coffee stores here in Vancouver. Inspired by the successes of international giants such as Apple, Bob is considering going global himself. After all, his coffee chain could end up becoming the next Starbucks, and there are many benefits to going global. Bob can take advantage of economies of scale, allowing him to achieve savings through large volume production, and economies of scope, where he can spread costs such as marketing. Bob can also benefit from lower costs of production. But before he gets ahead of himself, let's take a look at the different stages of international valuation. The first stage, also known as the domestic stage, is where Bob is at right now. He's aware of the international environment and is considering going global, especially since market potential is very limited in Vancouver. Foreign sales are handled through an export department, or outsourced. The next stage is the international stage. This is where companies have a multi-domestic mindset and deal with each country independent of one another. To cope with a larger market, the export department is replaced with an international division. Now, Bob just happens to know someone who works at Hootsuite, a social media management company. Recently, Hootsuite has set its sights on Asia. They opened an office in Singapore and hired an executive with extensive international experience to lead the expansion. It seems as though Hootsuite's first hard work has paid off, as there has been a 20% growth in this quarter alone. Yeah, that means a whole lot more customers and revenue, but there are actually more stages to come. In stage 3, also known as the multinational stage, companies have extensive international experience, and they have facilities in other countries as well. Moreover, a large percentage of revenues comes from international sales, and there are business units worldwide. Luckily, Bob is very well connected and knows someone who works at Atkins, the world's 15th largest global design firm. They have 300 offices across 29 countries and marketing facilities in all 29. Now, we're finally at the last stage, which is the global stage, where companies no longer think of themselves as having a single home country. Instead of having independent units, the competitive positioning in one country can affect what goes on in other countries. Everything is connected, like a big happy family. Bob may be able to learn some things from his friend, though, who works at Nestle, the world's largest food company, operating in 194 countries worldwide. Now, going global sounds like a great idea. So what's stopping Bob? As a matter of fact, what's stopping other companies from expanding? The first major problem is the increased complexity and differentiation that companies face when going global. Many global consumers are calling for more localization by companies as opposed to standardization. Integration between business units is crucial to its success, and companies have a tough time sharing knowledge throughout the organization. Luckily, Bob can take a look at some of Nestle's strategies. Nestle spends years researching markets they plan to enter and forecasting future market trends. For example, they decided to enter the Chinese market because it was abundant in resources and had a growing market. However, Nestle had to adapt their marketing strategy. While they have standardized some products, some of Nestle's business units are autonomous. Nestle tries to keep everyone on the same page by increasing communication through weekly newsletters, monthly meetings, and annual seminars as well. By using transnational teams and bringing in staff from other locations, they encourage diversity and the spread of knowledge. Thank you for watching. Special thanks to Hootsuite, Nestle, and Atkins.